Alright guys, so in today's video we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We haven't done this type of thing here before, but we're going to be talking about whether or not MK11 is Netherrealm's worst game yet. And obviously we want to hear from you guys in the comments whether you think this is their worst game, and if it isn't, what do you think their worst and their best game is so far. But before we get into it, I don't really like asking this. I do it every video, but I don't really enjoy doing it. But if you guys do enjoy the video at any point, if you could please consider subscribing and leaving a like, it would definitely help out, and it would mean quite a lot. So with that being said, let's just get right into it. So Mortal Kombat 11, for those who aren't aware, has been confirmed as done by Netherrealm, and that's kind of pissed a lot of people off. I won't lie, including myself, because they did say the game would be supported for 2 years, and it hasn't been 2 years. I mean, I can definitely understand because of coronavirus and that type of thing, but NetherRealm's communication is absolutely terrible. They don't tell us anything, and then they just come out and say this, and they said it's been over 2 years. It hasn't been that. And I wouldn't have a problem with it if they're still acting like it's been 2 years, because it hasn't. The game came out in April 2019, and they stopped supporting it of November 2020. That's not 2 years, and it would have been around that this year, but they waited till this year, like 8 months after Combat Pack 2, to finally tell us that. And that just pisses me off, and a lot of people, because they lied. Like, if they weren't still pretending about it being 2 years, it'd be fine, but it wasn't. And you know, that's not really the point of this video. I'm not here to sort of complain, but you know, it's definitely not really the truth. But you know, this has sort of led to a lot of people looking back on MK11 and sort of Netherrealm's other games, because people have gone back to Netherrealm's older games now, because some people think this is their worst game, not just in terms of mechanics, but just how the game's done. So I'm going to be talking about why, or we're going to be discussing first if this is Netherrealm's worst game, and then we're going to be discussing actually why that is or why that isn't the case. So Netherrealm's most recent game is Mortal Kombat 11, and as I said, it came out in April 2019. They generally have a 2-year gap, but they broke that with MK11, so now the next game won't be for a bit, because generally they would have already revealed their next game by now, because most games are supported for 1 to 2 years, so now we're kind of just waiting for a reveal for their next game. Alright, so guys, let's get into the actual sort of mechanics of Mortal Kombat 11 and discuss whether or not that's the worst in the series, or in Netherrealm's game, sorry. And I agree with a lot of people that yes, this is the fucking worst in terms of gameplay, because it's like a very simple version of MKX, I think. You know, most characters don't have mix-ups, but some do. And just overall, the actual gameplay is bad. I don't know why they needed to change it. Change breakers to breakaways, because breakaways are the actual fucking worst. I don't understand how, you know, you can get a combo, and then if they drop out and you keep your combo going, they can get up and hit you, and sometimes get like 30% for like a crushing blow that they don't deserve. I think that's really fucking stupid, and players definitely take advantage of that because it's a massive flaw in the game. I don't know why they made it like that. In terms of the actual meter, I actually really like it, because it doesn't limit you like MKX. MKX had you only be able to do combos that had like no meter in them, because you use that buff for your fatal blow, or sorry, your X-ray and your special moves, whereas this game it's separated, so you can have some insane combos that a lot of them don't really scale that much at all. But in MKX there was always a problem where, for example, with Sub-Zero, if I was doing a combo and then like a long combo, like maybe, you know, 12 to 15 hits, and then you go into X-Ray, it would often it would end up doing less damage than what the actual X-ray did on its own, which was fucking weird. I don't know how that's even possible, but there was just a ton of scaling on it, which this game doesn't have that much, which is really good. But the combos in this game, you don't really have to work hard. I feel like rounds in this game can go for 10 seconds sometimes, because you can land 2 or 3 crushing blows and the game's done, which is not really a good thing. But it's not just gameplay, as I said, it's also like story as well. In terms of story, I enjoyed it, but in terms of actual narrative, it's probably the worst. But do I think that this is the worst Netherrealm game? No. I don't think that MK11 is the worst Netherrealm game. I think it has it's probably the worst in terms of gameplay, but it's also very fun to play, depending on who you play, that is. And overall, it's a good game, but it just ended terribly. Like, they're generally good at telling us when a game's done, but they just didn't here. And now the game's just left being really boring. Like, I'm not really playing it anymore, and I used to play it pretty much every day because there's just nothing to do now, so I don't see any point in supporting and playing the game when there's no reason to at this point. The actual game compared to the other games isn't really that good in my opinion, but the customizable stuff obviously is better than every other thing in the series, and obviously Netherrealm games as a whole. But yeah guys, I just think that this game is not overrated because it doesn't really get all that much attention, and I used to think it definitely should, but I'm not too sure now. It's by no means a bad game. As a Mortal Kombat fan, I would still give this game about like an 80 to 86, because and 86 is pretty fucking random, but I'd definitely give it between like 80 and 90, just simply because this game just means like a lot to me. So I think that this game isn't bad at all, but I think to me it's probably my favorite Netherrealm game. But if I'm putting it in like an order of the ones that I think were done best to worst, but also kind of mixed with my opinion, it would probably go something like the worst is, to me, their worst game overall is Injustice 1. To me, it's just a boring game. It's not fun to play. All their other games are still fun to play. Injustice 1 isn't, in my opinion. Then it would probably be... Then it'll probably be this game, actually. This game isn't really good, but it's just, like, overall, based on what people are saying, sorry, this game just isn't good. I love this game, but it has a lot of problems. Then, to me, it would probably go Injustice 2, MKX, and MK11. I mean, MK9. MK9's just a really awesome game, even though it's broken as fuck. I think it's really, really fun. And you know, it has a tag team, which MK11 didn't add, which is just fucked, because it's literally in towers. And don't even get me started on like Ermac and Cyrax and Sector, who have new designs and you can't even play as them. That is completely fucked. That is actual bullshit. But, you know, it's fun. Let me know what you guys think. Which game do you think is the worst that Netherrealm has made? None of them are bad, in my opinion. They're all great, but, you know, I think that some are definitely weaker than the others in the series. So now we just have to wait for the next Netherrealm game, and we'll be covering that when it comes out, so definitely stay tuned for that, which, I mean, it could be a while, or it could be a few months, we don't know, but hopefully we don't have to wait too long. So, definitely subscribe if you're a Mortal Kombat fan, or Injustice fan, or just a Netherrealm fan in general, because we're covering their studio and their games, and we have been since the start, and we'll keep doing it. And leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Thank you guys for watching. Stay safe. See you guys later.